Hey, it's Papa. This video is about our solar system in more detail, showing the solar panels and their costs and everything else on here. And I'll also talk about how to wire it all up. You can see the solar panels. I have 4 of those, and they're called Renogy 100 watt 12 volt solar panels. Each of them right now on Amazon is $106.99. That comes to $427.96. So that's the solar panels. I have 2 universal power 12 volt 100 amp hour storage batteries. Each cost $179.99. That's $359.98. I have 1 60 amp 12 volt charge controller. Mine's actually only a 30 amp charge controller, but they're cheap, so I'm getting you a 60 amp. It's $24.99. That controls the charge. You need multi-strand wire, 10 gauge wire to hook up the panels all together, and etc. That's about 40. And then I have generally 40 of those 12 volt 3 cigarette lighter sockets that I showed you. Each of them is about $15 on Amazon, that's $60. So it's about $912.93. You might as well say it cost $1,000. Our solar power system at the cottage cost about $1,000. Now that doesn't include additional wire that you use. Let's say you need to run wire under your house to supply the power to the little 3-bank cigarette lighter things, so that you could add another $30. But always use stranded wire. Stranded wire works better with 12 volt systems. If you're messing with house current, AC, you use solid copper wire, but always use stranded wire with these 12 volt systems. Okay, so how does it all hook together? Okay, you have the solar panels, 4 solar panels. Each of them has a plus and a minus side, and this drawing is so tacky and hard to figure out. Basically, you just twist all the positive wires together. Positive wire here goes to positive wire here, goes to positive wire here, goes to positive wire here. One side of the wires is positive, one side's negative. You hook all the negative wires together. Negative wire here, hook to negative wire here, negative wire here. So you really only are going to have 2 wires coming down from the panels. One goes to the positive lead of the charge controller. The other goes to the negative lead of the charge controller. And I apologize for this messy mess. You just have 2 wires, a positive and a negative. Then coming out from the other side, the battery side of the charge controller, this is a charge controller, you have a plus wire and a minus wire. The plus wire goes to the plus sides of the batteries. The minus wire goes to the minus sides of the batteries. And you can hook them up any way you want. Just make sure plus always goes to plus and minus goes to minus. And there you go. And then from there, that's your complete system as far as providing the main bank of power. And then from down here, you can tap wires that run under the house. If you have your batteries under the house like I do, you can run from these a positive wire and a negative wire hooked together, run under the house, and bring them up and hook your little cigarette lighter things to that. The cigarette lighter jobbies have fuses built into them that protects the system, and it's not dangerous. You just have to be careful that you don't let a positive wire come in contact with a negative wire if it's hooked up to the battery. Okay, so that's our system. We can run, it will run just fine year-round. Put the solar panels on the south side of the house at a bit of an angle. And with our system, our roof angle was just right for the solar panels. That's not critical. And then winter or summer, winter you're not going to produce as much electric power, but with the four panels, solar panels, and 2 of these 100 amp batteries, winter or summer, cloudy or sunny, we always have enough power to run our house And like I said before, we have 3 12-volt lamps that are pretty bright. We don't run them all at the same time. We have fans that we run in summer, pretty powerful fans, which I think I've showed you those fans in a prior video. And we charge our phones, and we charge other devices, like we have a little Anchor speaker thing that we charge, and some that little gyro thing that helps me film some of my videos, that charges. And you can also charge your computer that way if you get a 12-volt charger for it. We don't use computers here anymore because the hot summer French fries them in about 2 years, so we just use our phones. So I hope that helps. And I'll leave this right here so you can see. You can't run a hairdryer. You cannot run a hot plate off our system. It'll suck the batteries dry in about 2 minutes. The hairdryers are worst of all. You can't run a heater, an electric heater, at all off our system. It'll just suck them dry quickly. But you can run all the things that I mentioned and do just fine. So you can see that if you want to be a minimalist and work off of a solar-powered system, you have to give up a lot of things. But when you give up those lot of things, like your washing machine and your dryer, your electric stove, your hot water heater, and all that stuff, your heat pump, when you're giving those things up, you're doing things that are going to help your body learn how to cope with the environment on its own, so that, if you sit in a house that's climate controlled and you sit there on your computer, pretty soon your body doesn't have to do the work, and you're going to die young. But if your body has to keep you warm and by producing heat, and keeping you cool by producing sweat, it's going to function, it's going to keep working much longer, and you're going to use your brain thinking of how to go get this water, how to wash my clothes by hand, how to take a bath in water that I draw from the pool system. So give that a try, and I hope all this works for you. Okie dokie, Papa out.